everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another movie review. I just recently watched Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie, which I'd known about this for a while, and having been kind of disappointed, well, actually, I shouldn't say kind of disappointed with the animated series that ABC produced, and I should have known having it on ABC. Like with 4Kids Anime, the least said, here is the easiest mended. Moving on. This was, in every sense of the word, hilarious. And the animation was good. I thought that the story, even though, yes, this is a story we've all heard before, it's been done, it was a parody, and that's what made it fun. And, of course, Kevin couldn't find Mark Hamill to do the voice of Cockknocker, so they had Tara Strong do it. And needless to say, having Tara Strong as Cockknocker's voice was by far the highlight of this entire movie. And there were just moments in and of themselves with Cockknocker just menacing them, and it was so funny. I just couldn't help myself. It was too good. And just the fact that it was making fun of so many superhero franchises and the internet and forums and News Group was the first one, and I thought was that sort of a a shot at, well, I know it was a shot at online forums and all that sort of thing, but it seemed kind of like poking fun at Newgrounds, but I know it wasn't. That was one of the villains. Of course, Cockknocker, he comes from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That's when we're first introduced to him with Blunt Man and Chronic. But it's just, that's probably the closest we're actually going to get to a Blunt Man and Chronic film, other than the promotional material I've seen on YouTube. And I forget the lady who's playing Chronic, but she's a babe. I'm not gay, but she's a babe, okay? She's hot. I'm just saying, she looks smoking. Now, Blunt Man is played by none other than Val Kilmer. I thought, good going. Yeah, a non-speaking role, and let's see how he handles it. And then, of course, the butler, Alfred Pennywise, is played by none other than the legendary Tommy Chong. I thought, yeah, Kevin, très magnifique casting there. Mwah! I mean, you could not have done any better. I applaud you and how well and meticulously that you put together this cast. But it's the same thing with the cartoon movie, and granted it's not the best, but it's pretty good. It's pretty gosh dang good. At first I had my doubts of seeing it, but I had to put it up there with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and of course my guilty pleasure is Mallrats, and that's gonna get me flamed, I know, because a lot of people think Mallrats was terrible. I like Mallrats because Stan Lee was in it. I'm a geek, so just his conversation in it was one of my favorite scenes in the whole entire film. Of course, the whole idea with the superhero genitalia still cracks me up to this day, especially about that whole discussion about whether Wonder Woman would be able to handle having sex with Superman, which I don't see why she couldn't, honestly, but that's neither here nor there. Let me see. Beyond that, I have to say that I really enjoyed the film. Plot was really basic. The plot was extremely basic, and of course they really do a lot of justice to it's just villain origin stories, which is quite humorous. Tara Strong, like I said, she's my favorite. I love Tara because she's one of my favorite voice actresses, other than uh, Wendy Lee. Well, actually, there are a few others: Wendy Lee, Kristen Shaw, Nancy Cartwright, Yardley Smith. Let's see, who else do I like? Jeez. There are quite a few others as well that I really enjoy, but I can't think of them off the top of my head, unfortunately. Tress MacNeille. I'd almost forgotten Tress MacNeille. I love her. She's so versatile. Let's see. Voice of Rita Repulsa. Her voice does not come to my mind, but my friend Angie is a really good friend of hers, so I have to mention her as well. Just her part in general was the highlight. It was the funniest thing, if not the best thing about the Groovy cartoon movie. It's an origin story for Bluntman and Chronic. Let me just put it that way. And if you enjoy that kind of thing, if you're into superheroes and you're into parodies and you want to laugh, then this is your movie. It's good. It's actually better than what I thought it would be. And the writing, the alliteration, the dialogue. Oh my God, this dialogue is God tier. It is excellent, and it's equivalent to what I would experience with Matthew Hussey's work or Matt Groening's work, or any of the other greats, the comedic writers like Mel Brooks. It's that good. It deserves a reward, honestly. It leaves with a happy ending, not so much for Chronic, but ending. Yeah, you'll understand what I mean by that. Humor, straight to the gutter, woo-hoo. But I'm going to give it my rating now. I give it 2 thumbs way up. That's no question of that. I loved it. I laughed a little bit harder than I should. It reminded me of good times that I've had watching films like Super Troopers, and I love both of those. So they're my favorite, other than the Cheech and Chong films, which are by far some of the best stoner movies out there. I haven't really seen any really good stoner films other than Super Troopers. I'm not really a big fan of Harold and Kumar. I mean, I'm sorry to say, I'm just not. But yeah, you can do Cheech and Chong are the pinnacle of what a stoner comedy should be. That's just my opinion. Of course, Jay and Silent Bob, they do a tremendous job, but it's stoner comedy for one thing, and it's also just a loving jab at nerd pop culture, and it's just so funny. It's so hysterical and so witty and so expertly written that there's a little something for everybody, especially in this one. And I mean, even the villains' names are clever, like News Group and the Diddler. The Diddler, all he does is masturbate. Yeah, who knew? And then, of course, you've got Dickhead, which he's really not that clever. He's basically a walking penis. And there's a reason why, but I'm not going to go into it. But it's funny in and of itself. And then the main supervillain of the group herself. But it was a fun little movie, and I enjoyed it immensely. And Kevin did a fantastic job, and I applaud him on that. He even gives a little bit of his own commentary, and of course there's a throwback to Dante and Clark City. Looks down the hole. He's like, I'm not even supposed to be here today. I had a giggle about that. Thought, yay, you actually timed the joke right this time, and it worked. Good, you're understanding what timing means and the artistry of that, and how complicated it can be to really do comedy well, because it's art, not science. And it takes practice. Trust me, I'm not by any means a professional. I like making people laugh, but I would never do it to get paid, because I'm afraid that if a heckler came up and said, "Yeah, suck," that would be, and then I'd run. I probably would, knowing me, because I don't like that kind of criticism. That's just mean. I'm sorry, but I know hecklers, they just whatever. But that's why I never went into stand up. But anyways, the movie itself, I give 3.5. It's not perfect, but it's darn near close. And it may be the one real glimpse we get to actually see a Blunt Man and Chronic film in animated form. And it's not meant for kids. It's a great adult romp, and it takes adult by every means necessary, and it's not to the point where it can be considered pornographic or raunchy. There are some things that might be a little raunchy and lewd about it, but it's not bad. It's not really that bad. It's honestly just fun and funny and entertaining, and like I said, the writing in it, oh my goodness, I adored the writing. Was just absolutely phenomenal. It really was. Like I said, the alliteration was just so utterly resplendent that I had to just sit there and laugh, because I thought, yeah, you alliterate quite well. Alliteration turns me on. But anyway, yeah, down the gutter we go again. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. So until next time, live and prosper. Ciao tutti.